And hello, one and all, and welcome to my weekly review for this week's edition of NXT. We're going to take a look at what took place on the March 16th edition of NXT, and I'm going to give you my overall thoughts and opinions on what took place on last night's show as we continue the build toward TakeOver Dallas, which is, yes, hard to believe, but only 15 days away, and boy, what a show it is shaping up to be. We got several matches announced for the NXT TakeOver Dallas card, in addition to the already announced Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe championship match, which should be an awesome match to say the least. And we're going to get into what matches were announced and what took place on last night's show. So without further ado, let's take a look at what took place. So we kick things off with the one, the only, Sami Zayn. It's always great seeing Sami Zayn on NXT. He gets great reaction from the crowd, as always. He really is the heart and soul of NXT. And Sami came out. He talked about, how his match, his 2 out of 3 falls match against Samoa Joe, wasn't just a match. It was an all-out war. They went to war against each other. They tore it up. Sami came so close, but yet so far from, becoming the first ever 2-time NXT champion. And he said his, despite that, his goal was not going to change, and he still aspires to be a 2-time NXT champion despite losing to Samoa Joe. And he said at TakeOver Dallas, it's during WrestleMania weekend, and whoever he is in the ring against, Sami Zayn, is going to steal the show. And before he can even continue talking, General Manager William Regal comes out and he announces, you deserve to face somebody that is of the same caliber, someone who is one of the best wrestlers in the world. And William Regal says, this will be your opponent at TakeOver Dallas. And the Titantron, there appears, like a fuzzy video screen, and then Shinsuke Nakamura appears on that screen, and he says, I will see you in Dallas, Sami Zayn. So it's going to be Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura at TakeOver Dallas. Wow, that is going to be one hell of a match. As we all know, Shinsuke Nakamura, New Japan Pro Wrestling, great, amazing wrestler, signed by WWE. The signing was announced several months ago, or a month ago, and a tremendous signing for the NXT brand, for WWE as a whole, and I can't think of a better opponent for Shinsuke Nakamura to debut against than Sami Zayn at TakeOver Dallas. So definitely a great addition to the card, and that definitely has potential to be a match of the night candidate in Dallas. So great way to start off NXT. Then we had the Hype Bros taking on Angelo, Dawkins, and Kenneth Crawford. Really was just a match to show the dominance and demonstrate what the Hype Bros are all about in the ring. They really were able to make quick work of Crawford and Dawkins. The Hype Bros were able to get the win after they hit the Hype Rider for the win. So it's nice to see the Hype Bros continuing to keep that momentum that they have going forward. I definitely like, the pairing of Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. They're a fun tag team. There's all, the NXT tag team division right now is really loaded. As I've said before, you got the Hype Bros, you got Blake and Murphy, you got the Vaudevillains, American Alpha, the Revival, Enzo and Big Cass are probably going to be called up soon to the main roster. So there are a lot of good teams in the tag team division, and like I said, glad to see the Hype Bros pick up another win here, keep that momentum that they have surging forward. So not too much to say about that match. All I can say is it's good to see the Hype Bros pick up the win. Afterwards, backstage, Emma and Dana Brooke run into Dianna Perazzo, and they pretty much make fun of Perazzo for losing to Asuka the previous week, and Perazzo tells Emma that, this week it's going to be you and me in the ring together. I'm going to beat you. And Emma and Dana Brooke pretty much blow her off, and Dana, taps her on the head like she usually does. And then we have that leads into our next match of the evening, which was Emma versus Dianna Perazzo. Perazzo was able to get some offense in, but it was really mostly Emma dominating most of this match. Emma was able to hit the lock in the Emma lock, for on Perazzo, and she had the tap out. Therefore, Emma is your victor. So Emma, once again continuing to be booked strong, and eventually it was announced later on this show that it will be Emma versus Asuka in a rematch from TakeOver London. So that should be a great match on next week's episode of NXT. But in this match, like I said, Dianna got some offense in, but it wasn't enough to put down Emma. So Emma with the win with the Emma lock tap out. Then we had Tommaso Ciampa versus Jesse Sorensen. Kind of a similar pattern throughout tonight's show. This was really not a long match. Ciampa went in there, and he's been really up in the ante in the physicality department. He's really been taking it to his opponents. Before the match even started, he just ran and sprinted right to the ring. He was really fired up for this match. Sorensen got some offense in, a couple punches and kicks, and a high angle drop to Ciampa's face. However, Ciampa was able to he was able to lock in a modified armbar on Sorensen for the tap out victory. So Ciampa being positioned strong, and I like that he has become a regular addition on NXT. Hopefully Johnny Gargano will also become a regular addition on NXT. I thought he was a really tremendous wrestler. I think he would be a good addition for the NXT brand. So we'll see where they go with him and Ciampa in the weeks to come. After this, we had tag team action. It was Nia Jax and Eva Marie versus Asuka and Bayley. Not really the longest match in the world. Early on, it was great seeing Asuka get in the face of Eva Marie, and the crowd was chanting, "Asuka's gonna kill you, Asuka's gonna kill you," and Eva Marie just had this scared look on her face. And eventually, Bayley was tagged in by Asuka, and after Asuka hit several kicks to the chest of Eva Marie, then Eva tagged in Nyah. Nyah went to work on Bayley. Bayley got herself into a bit of trouble there. She walked right into a Samoan drop by Nyah, and then eventually had to make the tag to Asuka. And once Bayley was able to get some momentum going, she was eventually able to make that tag to Asuka, and Asuka kicked Eva in the back of the head. Bayley did not make the tag to Asuka, but Asuka was able to kick, as I said, Eva in the back of the head. That allows Eva to walk right into the Bayley to belly, and Asuka and Bayley pick up the win. So they were able to isolate, Eva Marie from Nia Jax. Therefore, it was pretty much 2-on-1 from here on out. And like I said, Bayley to belly for the win. William Regal came out after the match to make Bayley versus Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Dallas official. And that is going to be one hell of a match that I cannot wait for at that show. It has potential to be Match of the Year candidate, and it's a match that I've been looking forward to for a long, long time. So I'm glad it's officially announced, and the TakeOver Dallas card is really shaping up well. Then we had an interview with Austin Aries talking about his debut on NXT. He said how he's been champion in many other companies, and he's had to deal with guys like his opponent Baron Corbin at NXT TakeOver Dallas. How that's not going to stop him. He didn't get signed because he was 6'4", 303 pounds. He was signed because he busted his ass, and he is one of the best wrestlers out there today. And pretty much talking about how at TakeOver Dallas, Austin Aries will defeat Baron Corbin. So further build up hype for that match. Another match that I'm looking forward to on that card. And hopefully Aries can get the win in his first match on NXT. So looking forward to that. Then we had our main event of the evening. Definitely the best match of the night. It was the American Alpha versus the Vaudevillains. Jordan and Gable every week continue to build more and more momentum, heading into TakeOver Dallas. And they were the victors in this match. It was a good, solid tag team match. There was one part of the match that was really incredible. It was when Gable hit this pretty damn good-looking German suplex, and he picked the guy up, and man, it's amazing how athletically gifted Chad Gable is, and towards the end of the match, Gable was able to make the hot tag to Jordan. Jordan was able to go in there, clear house. Eventually, on the outside of the floor, Jordan hit Gotch with a nice-looking belly-to-back suplex, and English hit the powerbomb on Gable, who was a legal man for a 2 count. Thought that might have been it there. However, Alpha was able to hit their finishing maneuver on Aiden English for the 1-2-3 count. So your new number 1 contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championships at TakeOver Dallas is the American Alpha, and they will be facing Dash and Dawson at that show. So right then and there, we have several matches announced for the NXT TakeOver Dallas show. Like I said, we have Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT title. We have Bayley versus Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. We have Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It's going to be a fucking awesome match. We have The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, versus the American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Finally, Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. So, right then and there, stacked card for TakeOver Dallas. Let me know down in the comments section what matches you're most looking forward to on TakeOver Dallas. Overall, this week's edition of NXT, I'm going to give it a B. It was a good show. Like I said, I enjoyed the the announcements, Sami Zayn announcement, the announcement for the NXT Women's Championship, the interview by Austin Aries, keeping guys like Ciampa and the Hype Bros looking strong with their wins, and a solid tag team match to close out this show. So those are my thoughts and opinions on last night's episode of NXT. So thank you all for watching. Please click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming to this channel as we head into the biggest week in 17 days of the year, WrestleMania week. And I have a ton of content coming soon to this channel. I will share details with you in the last 2 weeks to come. So with that, I am out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. Peace.